The Model Home project is a full-scale experiment where we built 6 houses in 5 countries over 3 years. We built one-to-one houses where people are going to live and test the vision that we aim at energy design and livability factor.
Model Home 2020 is based on the active house principles. All houses will be designed and built in a manner that creates balance between the 3 active house categories: energy, indoor climate and environment.
There's a challenge for buildings because they consume 40% of the complete energy consumption in the industrialized world. To address this challenge, we have to do something new. We cannot keep on repeating the same things we have been doing up till now. We have to change something, so we have to create innovation. You can say that one of the main points of sustainable construction today is that we should be fossil free. We should make use of renewable energies. We, however, also have to focus on the fact that we have our health. Being fossil free and not having a sufficient status of health will not be a satisfying solution. There is a common platform, you can say there's a common denominator, which is valid for all the houses, as they all have, you can say, mutual luggage of specifications that all the houses are living up to. We have done visualizations of the houses as for how they would perform for instance, thermal comfort in the summer. Will it be too hot? And then the sensors and the measurements and indicators which are mounted in the houses can be used to see how is this working in practice as compared to the theory which was put up when the house was programmed. All the projects will be monitored and measured in as well the quantitative measures as the qualitative measures. The quantitative measures, we are monitoring the consumption of energy, the quality of the indoor climate, and we are comparing that to the assumptions which were made during the planning process. With the qualitative measurements, it is interviews that are performed with either the inhabitants of the houses or the people working in the office building. Then there are a number of national specifics which are then added to each house. For instance, the house in France addresses particularly thermal comfort with natural ventilation, since this is a new concept in France. And like that, it's different with every house, and the monitoring program reflects again the things you wanted to test in the beginning in the theory. How does that work in practice? What we have learned so far from the monitorings and measurements that have been performed is that there is a difference between the theory and the practice. And it is necessary to ensure a bridge of dialogue to close the gap which is existing between the theory and the practice, to improve the theory and the practice in the future. The key factor is, if you want to take something forward to other projects, is to focus on how the people are using the house and not relying too much on the theoretical models on if the family is having a comfort temperature of 20 degrees, the house will be performing like this. We can already see from the first houses and the first monitorings and outputs now that the actual output will mean that we will have to revise and rethink the benchmark and then as well the yardsticks. A key learning from the first project here in Denmark is regarding the tightness of the house. When you make low energy houses, you have to have a very efficient air tightness, meaning that there's not a lot of hot air which can be let out uncontrolled from the house. And this provides that the craftsmen building the house are very sure to make everything fit and not puncture any holes. A sustainable project is never better than the people who are actually going to build it. They have to be able to understand how the house works, and they have to be able to understand how you construct the house in a way so that you avoid, for instance, punctures and leaks. We want to share the experience and the learnings that we get out of building the projects and working together with the experts. First of all, the inclusion of the experts in experience pool is used to exchange the experience between these experts. Second of all, we communicate the outputs and the learnings as much as possible. And thirdly, we engage in a number of other building projects where we put the learnings from these projects to use in other larger scale projects. The key focus of sustainable buildings of the future is to keep the goal of well-being of the users in mind. If you compare to a car, where you are going on a travel in a car, it is where you are going what is important. The amount of fuel that the car is using on the way to go there is an important factor, but it is an instrument. The key thing is the goal and where you are going.